It's official, folks. The D&D Live 2020 will be played online entirely, and in what I think is kind of a little bit of a shock, there are 0 community members at all invited. If you want to see what we know so far and what my thoughts are, stay tuned. A little heartbroken that community's not invited. What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and let's jump over to the D&D website. So D&D Live 2020, right? The 220s, right? So that's roll with advantage. That's kind of been a thing people have been saying. Obviously, 2020 has rolled 2 natural ones with advantage thus far. But regardless, let's take a look. So it's going to be entirely played online. Some of the stuff I've already read seems like complete BS. So I don't know. Okay. So it's June 18th to the 20th, so about a month or so from the point of me making this video. And it's going to, let's see, we're bringing D&D's Brightest Stars. Brightest Stars is more of a lie. It's D&D's most famous people and the highest profile people, in my opinion. To a virtual table to preview the latest D&D storyline with live gaming sessions, all while raising money for Red Nose Day to help children affected by COVID-19. So for a great cause. Watch live as personalities play elves, wizards, and fighters. Funny people and I'll be honest, some of these people I have absolutely no idea who they are. Maybe I'm just ignorant of pop culture. I don't know. Thomas Middleditch, Brian Posehn, and Kevin Sussman will work together to solve problems or more likely cause some hilarious new ones. WWE superstars Alexa Bliss, Tyler Breeze, Dio Madden, Ember Moon, Xavier Woods will contend with the Beefcake Destroyer Jeremy Crawford, aka Principal Rules Designers for D&D. Deborah Ann Wall will lead a group of actors, including Amy Acker, Janina Gavinkar, and Matthew Lillard and Sam Richardson. I think they messed that up a little bit, in improvising a way to help people in a fantasy world that different from ours. And then this is my favorite part. And principal D&D writer Chris Perkins takes players new to D&D, including Felicia Day, who owned Critical Role sort of at a point when it was Geek and Sundry, played on that, just recently did a live stream of D&D for the Guild, but new to D&D, Felicia Day. Brett Gilman, David Harbour, Brandon Ruth, and Maitreyi Ram, and Martin Starr. Through adventures sure to demystify the hobby for all those who tune in. So some of those I do recognize, right? Like I know David Harbour was on Stranger Things, and he was the new Hellboy. And I know Brandon Ruth was a Superman. There's a short video here, which interesting is because there's all these images, right? We see some of these folks here. But then when you watch this video, there's other people in it like Karen Gillan and other folks that I didn't recognize. So let's go ahead and watch this video together real quick. So that was cool. Give us a little bit, some other folks that we didn't recognize or we didn't see were in there originally. So here's the breakdown. Thursday at 10 a.m., it's going to be a gameplay reveal. I don't know what that means because the 12 p.m., it's D&D adventure and product reveal. So if you're familiar with the way they've done this, they typically reveal something new. So this says adventure and product reveal. So this is probably going to be whatever the new storyline is. I have some thoughts. We'll talk about that in a sec. Host is going to be Anna Prosser. 2 p.m. is going to be a D&D live game with DM Deborah Ann Wall and players Amy Acker, Matt Lillard, and so on. And then at 4 p.m., there's this after show / reality RP. Now that seems interesting because I'll talk about that in a second. Friday is pre-show, Red Nose Day with Chris Perkins as the DM. Then D&D product deep dive / panels. I don't know if that means they're going to go more into what the products are. Then comedians play D&D, and then after show / reality RP. Saturday, again, a Lost Odyssey Heroes game with Chris Perkins, and then David Harbour, Brandon Ruth. Another deep dive, the WWE game. And then at 4 p.m., Reality RP Final and Goodbyes. So here's this live portal, right? So social distancing impacts. Fans of D&D will learn all about a new setting and storyline. New setting. So it says new setting. Keep that in mind. It reads new setting and storyline. That, in theory, in my brain, means an entirely new campaign setting. I don't think so. If we look at this, I don't think we can really blow this picture up at all. If you recall back when I was talking about the Laurel Silverhand dice kit, I thought it might have been like an Arctic themed game, some sort of ice themed game. I was hoping that was going to be what it was because of the icy blue of the dice, very high level. But if you look at this does look like people are exploring a cave. So maybe back then I was right that it is some sort of icy themed campaign. Maybe it's in a new setting, or when it says new setting, maybe it is a new whole like campaign world, or maybe it's just like we're dealing with Arctic stuff now. We dealt with jungle and Cholt. Now we're going to deal with like the far north and the sea of moving ice and do it that way. I don't know. Again, still keeping it in Faerun. As well as accompanying new products, plus by donating a small amount to Red Nose Day, $10 or more, fans will be able to register through the D&D live event portal. Once registered, fans will gain access to advanced registration for future D&D sessions when available, with D&D Adventures League offering 4 new short adventures everyone can enjoy. Fans will also be able to choose the character best suited to help the region through Reality RP, a mashup of fantasy storytelling, community engagement, and reality television. So I'm not really sure what that is. That's going to be this 4 p.m. every day. Now, I did go in here and I did register already. So if I were to click on this and click register, it'll show that I already did it. If I go to log in, oh geez, I don't know. Well, I did. I can promise you that I did indeed register. I need to do a special character for this. I forget. I don't know. Well, anyway, I did register and I did log in and do all that stuff. So we'll see. I'll try to figure it out. There is special Red Nose Day apparel, which is this cute snowy owl bear with a red nose. And then there's a brand new special adventure on the DM's Guild called Return to Glory, which is an orc-based adventure for characters level 6 to 8. Your people once dominated everything south of the mountains. You had the greatest, most advanced underground stronghold ever known to orc kind. Then the cataclysm happened, centuries have passed, and only a few tribes have survived and assembled under the banner of one cause: reclaim what was yours. So we can actually go and view that on the DM's Guild. What's interesting, too, is this almost kind of leads more to the credence of a possibly ice-themed campaign. Also, look at who's involved in this. Chris Lindsay, Celeste Conowitch, MT Black. Look at all the folks involved in this creation. So, I don't know. There's a lot of folks tied to it. And it just came out today. So part of me is wondering if, because this is talking about being north and the ice and the mountains, if that whole concept of like an icy northern-based campaign, Arctic setting, is what we're actually going to get. And if you recall, there was talk at the end of last year of an anthology series similar to what we got with Tales from the Yawning Portal and Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where, you know, there was going to be this new product with a bunch of different chapters and different adventures, but they were going to be written by a bunch of different people, like Deborah Ann Wall was supposed to write a chapter and all this kind of stuff. And I'm assuming that that's what this book is. I'm also going to be super pissed if we don't get, like, the Xanathar's 2 player resource that everybody's thinking we're going to get. But if you recall, the very first D&D Live, they announced Xanathar's and Tomb of Annihilation in the same live stream. Just like last year at D&D Live, they announced Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus, but they also announced Eberron. So I'm hoping maybe we'll get something similar to that going forward. It's 2:44 p.m. here, Eastern Time, which in about 15 minutes from now, as of me recording this, D&D is going to go live with a special 1-hour Dragon Talk where I think they're going to go through this a little bit more in depth. I may make a follow-up video depending on how far off I am on some of my assumptions. If not, well, we'll just see how it is. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you, again, me personally, as someone who got to go to D&D Live, was invited out there last year, it does seem a little bit, I don't want to say, I don't know, I do feel slightly slighted, I guess, that, and not even so much for me because I'm not like super crazy in the D&D community, but it's only celebrities. There is no like Critical Role's not even invited to this from what I can tell, right? It's only celebrities. It's not like people that are like, there's no Satine Phoenix here, right? There's no like even like celebrities within the D&D community aren't involved in here. It's just like people who are celebrities on the regular and then are also now playing D&D, which I thought is a little bit weird. So it's kind of funky that there's no podcast, there's no live streamer, there's no YouTuber, there's none of that association in this whole D&D live, which would even be arguably more so because a lot of us do these things that we do, streaming, YouTube, podcast, all online and recorded. So we're set up to do this with a setup and equipment and things to be able to do this well. And the all online D&D live is the one that none of those folks are invited to. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Let me know if you think that I'm off on any of my assumptions. More news will come out, and I'll continue to cover it as we get more news. Thank you again to my patrons over on Patreon. It'll be in the description as well. I recently set up, after being hounded about it for a little bit, to set up a P.O. box. So I did that. Obviously, don't feel obligated to do so, but the information is down there if you feel like there's things you want to, physical things you want to send to me. We'll see. I opened it up for a little while. If it's worthless and no one sends anything, I'll just cancel it. That's just how it is. But anyway, like I said, several people had asked, so now it's set up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I would greatly appreciate it if you did so, and I will see you all next time.